Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep and welcome to last lap to NMAT. As we have promised, we have brought you the revision classes of NMAT that will happen every day at 3 p.m. So today we are going to discuss the game changer, the arrangements. Okay. So what kind of sets do you expect from arrangements? So those are generally sitting arrangement in a linear position, two linear positions, maybe a circular arrangement or any symmetrical arrangement. People may be sitting around a square table and henceforth, right? So today we're going to look into 4 sets which are based on arrangements. So this is the first one. Direction: study the following information carefully and answer the questions. 7 friends A, C, D, K, M, X and Y are sitting in a straight line facing north. Each of them like different subjects: English, history, Hindi, math, geography, commerce and science, but not necessarily in the same order. M is sitting second to the right of the one who likes maths but does not like history. The one who likes history is sitting third to the right of C, who is an immediate neighbor of the one who likes maths and Hindi. The one who likes history is sitting second to the left of the one who likes commerce, who is sitting at one of the extreme ends of the line. The one who likes science is not an immediate neighbor of the one who likes Hindi. K neither likes history nor English. A likes English. The one who likes geography is sitting to the immediate right of X. Y likes science and is immediate neighbor of K. So we have a lot of information where it is discussed about, what position to the left or to the right they are sitting, and also which particular subject they like. So if we want to solve this, what is the first arrangement that we need to make? So what you will see is, since it's about everybody is facing north. North is by taken default as upwards, right? So we will have to first of all place 7 positions, assuming that everybody is facing upwards, that is north, and then left and right is supposed to be put. So let's put 7 positions. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will be writing down their names and we will be writing down the subjects that they like beneath them, right, within the same column. Okay. Now we will try to find a statement wherein somebody's position is kind of fixed. So M is sitting second to the right of 1, not fixed. Let's not read the part where they like any subject. Okay, the one who likes history is sitting third to the right of C, who is an immediate neighbor of the one who likes maths and Hindi, right? So that is also not a concrete one. The one who likes history is sitting second to the left of one who likes commerce, who is sitting at one of the extreme ends of the line. Now this statement is going to help us start someplace, right? So the person who likes commerce is sitting at one of the extreme ends, and then the person who likes history is sitting second to the left. So the person who likes commerce may not be sitting at the leftmost position because there won't be any position to the left of it, right? So the person who is going to like commerce is sitting at one of the extreme ends, and the person who likes history is sitting second to the left. So this is the guy who likes history. So we're done with this statement. Okay, now we have to search that do we have any other place where we can put in commerce or history if it is mentioned, so that we can continue from this particular scenario. So the one who likes science is not an immediate neighbor of the one who likes Hindi. K likes history nor English. A likes English. The one who likes geography is sitting to the immediate right of X. Y likes science and is immediate neighbor of K. So we have no idea as of now where people are sitting. So let's read these statements. Okay, we may come across history or commerce. First statement is M is sitting to the right of the one who likes maths but does not like history. So the one who likes, since there is not a comma, so this who is about the first person, right? Okay. Since there is not a comma, so actually this history and commerce will move here. So this is your history. So the guy who likes history is sitting at one of the extreme ends, and he's also sitting second to the left of the guy who likes commerce. So this is how we need to put it. Had there been a comma, then suppose had there been a comma, so then this phrase which says sitting at one of the extreme ends of the line is going to be about the latest person, whose latest subject about whom description is given. So this comma should have been went to extreme end. Since we don't have a comma, so we can't take that. Okay. Now M is sitting second to the right of the one who likes maths but does not like history. So M doesn't like history, but wherever M is, so we can't fill it out here, right? Can't fill it. So I'm just going to write it beneath. So M is sitting somewhere second to the right of the guy who likes maths, and this guy doesn't like history, right? The one who likes history is sitting third to the right of C, who is immediate neighbor. So looks like a comma is missing here. So we will have to again move history and commerce back to the original position so that we can have somebody to the right, right? The history guy is going to be the right. The one who likes history is sitting third to the right of C. So first right, second right, third right. So that means C is sitting over here. And C is an immediate neighbor of the one who likes maths and Hindi. So which is maths, which is Hindi, we have no idea. So let's put maths over here, and let's put Hindi over here, or let's put Hindi over here, and let's put maths over here. Okay. So we're done with this. Let's go to the first statement again. M is sitting second to the right of the one who likes maths. So suppose this is maths. Okay. This position is going to occupy maths. So M is sitting second to the right of maths. Second to the right of maths is, this is going to be M. Maths ke second right mein, right? But does not like history. But M likes history here. So which is going to be contradictory, right? So that means we can't have maths here. The only place we can have maths here would be in the first position, the leftmost, such that M is sitting second to the right of the one who likes maths, and this guy doesn't like history. Makes sense? So done with this statement as well. So I am going to erase the previous part. Okay. The one who likes science is not an immediate neighbor of the one who likes Hindi. So C can't take science. The fourth position can't take science because beside Hindi you can't have science. So the only place we can have science left is the second last position, right? So the one who likes science is not an immediate neighbor of the one who likes Hindi. Now K likes neither history nor English. So K likes neither history nor English. So we don't know where English is going to be, but K cannot take any of these two places. Then it says A likes English. Now there are only two subjects that we are left with. One is geography and another is English. So these are the two places where we can place English and geography. So because it says A likes English, we can't place English over here because C is already positioned. So we can only have A and English over here, such that this turns out to be the last subject, geography. Now the one who likes geography is sitting to the immediate right of X. So the first guy is going to be X, so that his right is geography. Y likes science and is an immediate neighbor of K. So one of these two is going to be K. Obviously this is sure. But it says K likes neither history nor English. So K can't take history, so the only subject K can take now is commerce, and we are left with only one person, which is going to be D. D is so far left, so D goes to history. So this statement which said the one who likes history sitting second to the left or the one who likes commerce, a comma should have been there, who is sitting at one of the extreme ends of the line. So this is the sequence that we get. So in questions of NMAT related to logical reasoning, you hardly take 5 minutes to decode it, and then you take another 1.5 minutes to solve it, right? So those who are sitting at the extreme ends of the row like which of the following subjects? So they like maths and commerce, right? So option D. Who amongst the following is sitting second to the right of the one who likes English? So let's go to English. Second to the right of English is Y, who likes science. So it's going to be Y, who likes science. If all the three persons are arranged in alphabetical order from left to right, sorry, if all the persons, not three, if all the persons are arranged in an alphabetical order from left to right, then how many persons remain unchanged? So let's arrange them in alphabetical order. So we will have A, C, D, K, M, X, Y. So all I have done is I have copy pasted it over here because they were already in an alphabetical order. So you will find that C is within the same column. Everybody else's positions have been changed. So there is only one guy whose position will be left unaltered, while the remaining 6 guys' positions will change, right? So there is only one person whose position remains unchanged. Which of the following is true regarding D? So first statement says D sitting third to the left of C. So let's go to D. Is D sitting third to the left of C? No, D is actually sitting third to the right of C, right? So the first one is not true. Since first is not true, so A and B, they both are gone. E is gone. So we have to check between C and D. So if any one of the remaining two statements, second and third, they do not make sense, so we would know that which is the answer. Third statement is easier to figure out. So D likes history. So let's go and check. Yes, D does like history. So if D likes history, then third is true. Two persons are sitting, so we should be pretty sure, no, that option D should be the answer. Because C says none of the above, but we are pretty sure that third statement is definitely true. So we can mark option D. But let's check second statement as well. Two persons are sitting between D and C. If you remember, D was sitting third to the right of C, which actually means there are two people between them. So second is also true. Option D. Right? Not a difficult one. Who amongst the following sits second to the left of the person who likes commerce? So we have to go to the commerce and then we have to find second to the left. Commerce guy ke left mein. So the person who likes commerce is K, second to the left of him is the history guy, right? D. So D is the history guy. So this is what we're going to have. So next set. And while you are reading the next set, please don't forget to like, subscribe and press that bell icon for the notifications so that you can get the complete revision of NMAT with us every day at 3 p.m. 12 people are sitting in 2 rows such that W, G, L, J, H and N are sitting in row 1. So these are 6 people facing south. They are facing downwards, and A, M, B, X, S, Q are sitting in row 2 facing north. They are facing upwards. So in other words, they are kind of, they may be facing towards each other or they may be facing away from each other, right? Their backs may be facing each other. Okay. 2 people sit between L and H. Since they have mentioned row 1, then most probably row 1 is, by default row 1 is considered as the first row, then the second row. So if the first row guys are sitting downwards, facing downwards, that means actually the two rows people are facing towards each other and not that their backs are facing towards each other, right? Using common sense, we can conclude that this is most probably the case. Now, 2 people sit between L and H. The one who faces H sits second to the right of Q, not more than one person sits, and this and this and that. So reading it is not really going to help us straight away. We need to again use the previous questions logic, wherein we have to find a statement where we can start, as in somebody who's sitting to the extreme end, somebody who's sitting at the middle. Something is definite. We'll start from there, and it doesn't matter which row we are talking about. So for this, what we need is 6 people, and since we do not have any other attribute apart from the people and their positions, we can actually draw a table so that while writing things down, it's easier. So let's say these are the 2 rows, and these are the 6 people who will be sitting facing each other. So these guys, first row people, are going to face towards the south, and the second row guys are going to face towards the north. Okay. So 2 people sit between L and H. No idea, right? But we are pretty sure that L and H, wherever they are in the same row. So wherever L and H will go, they will be in the same row. The one who faces H sits second to the right of Q. So the one who faces H, as in the opposite row, you will find Q for sure. So if L and H are in first row, Q is in the second row. If L and H are in the second row, Q is in the first row. Not more than one person sits between Q and X. So X turns out to be in the same row as Q, in which X does not face H and L. Fine, it's understood, right? They are opposite, but it's given that they do not face H and L. Not they, X does not face H and L. 2 people sit between X and M. So we are sure that X and M are in the same row. We don't know where to make them sit. M does not face to the one who sits to the left of H. So we don't know who that guy is. The one who faces M sits third to the right of N. So that means N is definitely in the row opposite to him. Maximum of one person sits between N and W. So we definitely know that N and W are in the same row of L and H. 2 people sit between W and G. There is one more person who just joined the same row. But G does not face Q. So G is not going to be facing Q. M sits at the end. So we are sure where M is going to sit. Next, S sits to the left of Q. So S goes to the opposite row. And a maximum of 2 people sit between S and B. So between S and B, maximum 2 people. So we're not sure about 2 persons here, right? Because we have a total of 12 letters, 12 people. We can only find 5 and 5, which is a total of 10 letters. The 2 letters that are missing are W is there, G is there, L, J, H and N. Okay, so it's given that they are sitting in row 1. So the missing letter is J. So this is missing. And then we have A missing in second row. So since they have mentioned already that who are these people sitting in row 1 and who are these people sitting in row 2, we can actually start filling in. So this is actually row 1 and this is row 2. Now from row 2, we will start with that particular point where it was given that M is sitting at the end. So there are 2 ends for M, right? For row 2, it may be leftmost, it may be rightmost. We need to start from some place. So let's say we start from M being as the rightmost position. Now, let's read those statements where M is included. 2 people sit between X and M. So this is where X will go. M does not face to the one who sits to the left of H. So M does not face to the one who sits to the left of H. So wherever H is, this guy is not sitting to the left of H. Okay. Not sure about the second statement though. The one who faces M sits third to the right of N. Now third to the right of N, so whoever is this guy, and if I place suppose N over here, whoever this guy, this is not X, okay, so somebody is over here, so this guy is going to be left of N and not right of N. I know that tells us that M is not at the rightmost end, M is on the leftmost end, because we don't have any other possibility. So we will have to redo. M sits at one of the ends. Where is the next statement? Okay, two people sit between X and M, so X goes here. The one who faces M sits third to the right of N. So if N is over here, then if you place yourself at the position of N, then N's third to the right, this is your first right, second right, third right, this is the person who is facing M. Okay, M does not face to the one who sits to the left of H. So obviously H is going to be at any place, and whoever is going to face M will obviously be to the right, he can't be to the left. This is understood. Is there any other statement that includes M over here? No. Right? We are done with all the statements. Now we have two letters that have come up, N and X. We will start with one of those two. Do we have any statement that include X? Okay, not more than one person sits between Q and X, in which X does not face H and L. So we have no idea where H and L are facing, so don't know where to put Q. And are they consecutive, or is there a gap of one person? Because it says not more than one person, right? We do not have any other statement that talks about X. So let's search for N. So maximum of one person sits between N and W. So N and W can take, you know, 4 positions, W, 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 W. So we can't take that. So we'll have to start someplace. Two people sit between L and H. The one who faces H sits second to the right of Q. Suppose we take L over here. Oh, we can't take L over here because then H, we do not have 2 positions, right? Okay. What about if we take L over here? Then H is going to take this. The one who faces H sits second to the right of Q. So whoever faces H sits second to the right of Q. So Q goes here. Okay. So we'll continue with this. We'll see if it's possible or not. Not more than one person sit between Q and X. Yes, it makes sense. In which X does not face H and L. Yes, it makes sense. Two people sit between W and G. Two people sit between W and G, but G does not face Q. So W and G are from the first row, right? So we can't place W over here because you don't have 2 positions. So these are the only 2 positions left where I can place W and G or G and W. But is it WG or is it going to be GW? For that, they have told us that G does not face Q. So this has to be W and this one has to be G. So out of all the letters, we are done with L, H, and W and G. So we are left with J over here, right? Let's find out the remaining 3 people at the bottom, the second row. Maximum of one person sits between N and, that is for the row 1. S sits to the left of Q. So this is Q, so this is to the left of Q. And a maximum of 2 people sit between S and B. So the only place B can go is over here. And we are left with only one person who is A, which will go at the second row, the other end. So this is one of the possibilities, because we have not checked the remaining ones, because we fixed L and H over here. What if I move L and H further? What if I interchange H and L? Then what happens, right? So we will look at the options first. If the options are like there are conditions, if the option says cannot be determined, then we will have to look into more cases if possible. How many people sit to the right of L? Definite options. If S is related to M and H is related to G, then who is related to L? So again, a definite option. 4 people are in a certain form, they form a group who do not belong to the group. Specific answer, which of the following statement is true, specific answer. So can we say that we do not have to waste our time figuring out if L and H can interchange or if L and H can move further? Because we have 3 more cases like those to take care of. But that will be futile because options, even if we are going to have 3 cases, all the options should match, right? Fine. So coincidentally, we got the answer when we put L and H here. Let's try. How many people sit to the left, sorry, to the right of L? So if you go yourself to the position of L and if you see how many people sit to the right of L, you will find only J sitting to the right of L. So there is only one person. If S is related to M, so let's see how S and N are related. S is to the right of M. Okay. And H is related to G. H is related to G. If you go to H's position, you will find that H is to the right of G. They are sitting next to each other, but specifically S is to the right of M, H is to the right of G. So who among the following is related to L, right? So who is sitting to the right of L? It's J. So J is sitting to the right of L. So we can say S is sitting to the right of M, H is right of G, so J is to the right of L. Okay, next one. 4 among 5 people are alike in a certain way and hence form a group. Then who among the following does not belong to the group? We have JMGAX. JMGAX. So we have JM, GA and X. So we can find J and M, these 2 people are in the same column. They are sitting opposite to each other. Same goes for G and A, but X is the odd one out. There is nobody who is sitting opposite to X from these 5 people. So X turns out to be the odd one out who do not belong to the group. Okay, who among the following sits immediate left of the one who faces the one who sits to the immediate right of S? So there are 2 statements clubbed together, 2 conditions. So let's start reading from the end. Who sits to the immediate right of S? So let's find that. So S is over here. To the immediate right of S, we have Q. Okay, continue reading backwards. Who sits immediate left, who faces Q? Let's forget this one. Who faces Q now? So let's go and find W faces Q, right? So W faces Q. Now once we got W, now we have to find out who sits immediate left of W. Who sits immediate left of W? So W is over here. So who is immediate left of W? It's N, right? So you have to position yourself at the position of W. So N is sitting, so we can say that N sits immediate left of W. W is the guy who faces Q and Q is the guy who sits to the immediate right of S. So N is our answer. Next, which of the following statement is true? One person sits between J and the one who faces B. So J and the one who faces B. The one who faces B is H and J. Actually, there is not one person, there are 3 guys, L, W and N. So this statement is not true. There are 2 people who sit between B and S. Yes, there are 2 people, Q and X, who sit between B and S. This should be good enough. We should not check the other options once you have got one, because there is only one statement that could be true, right? So this is again similar to the first set, easy, 5 minutes to 6 minutes at most. The order is very specific. You have to visualize the way they are sitting and then you need to start from that statement that gives you a definite position or a placement. Okay, the next set. Study the following data carefully and answer the questions accordingly. 9 people, B, C, R, C, X, C, M, C, P, C, U, C. So C is written everywhere. So let's ignore C. So we have 9 people, B, R, X, M, P, U, T, L, and J. And they are sitting around a circular table. So this is symmetrical arrangement. Some of them are facing inside while some are facing outside. How many of them are facing inside? No idea. How many of them are facing outside? No idea. M and J are facing in the opposite directions. They're facing in the opposite directions. When is this going to happen? They're going to face in the opposite direction when they are going to be facing towards each other, as in they both are facing inwards or they both are facing outwards. That's when we say they're facing in the opposite direction. So we are pretty sure that M and J, in whichever direction they're facing, is the same direction, as in towards the center or away from the center of the table. X sits 4 places from L. R sits second to the left of P, and both neighbors of P are facing in the opposite direction. So whenever we have facing in the opposite direction, we are hold on, opposite directions. Now this is tricky. Is it with respect to the table? It's with respect to the east, west, north, south. So if we take they're facing inside and outside as 2 directions, then facing in the opposite directions would mean that if one of them is facing inside, the other is facing outside, right? So actually they will be facing in the same direction. But if I ignore that inwards and outwards, and if I think that if they're facing in the opposite direction, they both are going to face towards each other at the center of the table, or they both are going to face away. Well, the second statement made me think about this, because the neighbors of P are facing the opposite direction. So if I am the guy and there are 2 people who are facing in the opposite direction, there is nothing opposite about them, right? Because if one is facing in this direction, the opposite direction is one is facing in this direction. So if one is facing outwards, the one is facing inwards, which is going to be very different from the other first statement, opposite direction. So here is the contradiction based on what we are trying to, what I am trying to understand from the language. देखते हैं आगे. M sits exactly between R and U, who are facing outside. B sits third to the left of R. Not more than 2 people face the same directions are sitting together. T sits second to the left of B. R and U are facing opposite. B is not immediate neighbor, who is not faces the opposite direction of U. Okay. So I'm going to take directions as inside and outside, not north and east or west, south. So inside is one direction, outside is one direction. So when the first statement says M and J are facing in opposite directions, it means if M is facing inwards, J is facing outwards, and vice versa. X sits 4 places away from L. ठीक है? ठीक है? So these are the directions. Inwards as in inside and outside. This is my assumption. So I'll go with this assumption. So since there are 9 people that we need to make them sit around, so we need first of all a circular table. Place 1 at the top. Then you are going to have 8 people left. 4 of them are going to be the left of this half of the circle, as in on the left semicircle, and 4 are going to be on the right semicircle. So we will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have been a little more farther. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Mirror image of the same 4 points. Okay. Now here nobody is opposite to each other. For example, who is opposite to this guy? Nobody. Or we can say that they both are equally distant from this guy, the top guy, right? Okay. Now we are going to place the people one by one. We'll start from that particular statement where we have something definite. So R sits second to the left of P, and both neighbors of P are facing in the opposite direction. M sits exactly between R and U. We'll start with this. So let's say M is sitting directly, as in exactly between R and U. So R and U can be right next, or maybe one place away on both the sides, maybe 2 places, because in other case he will be exactly in between. So not a good statement to start with. B sits third to the left of R. So I hope you guys can understand why am I not starting with B sits third to the left of R, because depending upon where R is facing, the third will be a different scenario, you know? Okay, not more than 2 people facing the same directions are sitting together. Not more than 2 people. So max 2 people consecutive are allowed. T sits second to the left of B. R and U are facing opposite to each other. B is not a immediate neighbor of P. L, who is not near P, faces the opposite direction of U. So we will have to start someplace. So Bhagwan ka naam lo, akkad bakkad karo, start from one of the cases. So let's start from this statement. X sits 4 places away from L. So this is, let's say, L. X sits 4 places away. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is either going to be X or this is going to be X. Next, do we have any more L or X written over here? Right. L is not near P, so P will take the other places. Do we have X anywhere? No. So not the right statement to begin with. Let's pick the next statement. R sits second to the left of P, and both neighbors of P are facing the opposite direction. So suppose P is sitting over here, R and P is facing inwards, right? So this is an assumption, okay, that P is facing inwards. R sits second to the left of P. So this is where R is going to sit, second to the left of P. And both the neighbors of P are facing the opposite direction. Who is inwards, who is outwards? No idea. M sits exactly between R and U. So we are pretty sure that this can't be U, because then M will take the position of P, which we have already taken, right? We can have a lot of different places. Can't help it. Move to the next statement. B sits third to the left of RC. B sits third to the left. Now what shall we do? Third to the left of R. If R is facing inwards, then third to the left of R is going to be this place where B is going to be here. If R is facing outwards, then B is going to be the neighbor of P. But we'll have to start someplace. So let's assume that R is facing inwards as well. If R is facing inwards, P is facing inwards, then the immediate neighbors of P, this guy cannot be facing inwards, because we'll have 3 consecutive people facing inwards. So this person is facing outwards, this person is facing inwards. Okay, we're done with this statement. T sits second to the left of B. So this is B, who is second to the left. Second to the left of B could be in any direction depending upon where B is facing. So again, I'm going to assume B is facing inwards to make it easier on me, okay? So this is where T is supposed to sit, second to the left. R and U are facing opposite direction. So R is facing inwards, U must be facing outwards. B is not an immediate neighbor of P. Yes, he is not. L, who is not near P. So L is going to take the other three places away from P. Faces the opposite direction of U. We have no idea where U is. Let's reread the statements. M, J are facing opposite direction. Don't know where M and J are. X sits 4 places away from L. Okay. So where can we put X? Suppose if we put X over here. So we will have 4 places away. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where L would be. Or L could be over here. If X takes this position, the only 4 places we are left will be this one. If X takes this, the 4 position is going to be specific this. If X takes this, so we have a lot of places where X can go. Okay, M sits exactly between R and U. So if this is R and if you want M, can I take M over here? No. Because if M is sitting over here, this is 2 gap, you will have a U over here. Can we take M over here? No. Can I take M over here? No. So M can take only 2 positions, that is to the left of R. If M takes this, U is this. And if M takes this, after a gap, U will take this. Only 2 positions for M. So again an assumption, let's take M is going to face here, U is going to face here. M is facing outside. Fine, M is facing outside. No problem. We do not have 2 consecutive people facing in the same direction so far. Now, do we have any U? Okay, R and U are facing in the opposite direction. If R is facing inwards, he is facing outwards. Fine, 2 people, consecutive people. Okay, since P and the neighbor, they both are facing inwards, T should be facing outwards. And this leftover person may be facing inwards, may be facing outwards. No, no issue. This is very much possible. L, who is not near P, so L can't be over here, so L is over here, faces the opposite direction of U. Since U is facing outwards, L should be facing inwards. Makes sense? See, there were 3 places where I made assumptions, as in I was like, chalo isko try karke dekhte hain. Okay. 2 more people left are X and J. So do we have an X and J anywhere? We did have an X, right? X sits 4 places away from L. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where X will go and this is where J will go. We have all the 9 people. We have their directions. We will go through the statements again and see if things make sense. M and J are facing in the opposite direction. M is facing outwards. J is facing inwards. Perfect. X sits 4 places away from L. So X sits 4 places away from L. Perfect. R sits second to the left of P. R sits second to the left of P. Right? He does. And both neighbors of P are facing in the opposite directions. Bilkul. M sits exactly between R and U. Yes, he does. Who is facing outwards? Bilkul. B sits third to the left of R. If R is over here, his left is first, second, third. Yes, he does. Not more than 2 people facing the same direction are sitting together. Do we see same direction arrow consecutive at 3 places? No. T sits second to the left of B. So this is B, second to the left of B is in this direction where T is. Makes sense? R and U are facing in the opposite directions. R is facing inwards, U is facing outwards. Good so far. B is not an immediate neighbor of P. He is not. L, who is not near P, yes he is not, faces the opposite direction of U. L is facing inwards, U is facing outwards. Now this may be one of the remaining 7 cases, also possible, right? No idea. So if this would have been an exam, rather than trying to find out the remaining 7 possibilities and how many of them will work, how many of them are going to contradict, let's solve the question that we will get just from one arrangement. Because this is NMAT, right? You cannot, it's adaptive, right? So you cannot waste so much time. Already I think I have spent around 10 minutes on this. So how many people are facing inside? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 people facing in. So none of these, assuming that this is the answer. Which of the following sits second to the right of X? Let's go to X. X is facing outwards. His second to the right is going to be M, right? So it's M. Okay, the one who is sitting 5th to the left of J. So if J is this, 5th to the left of J would be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, M is not 5th to the left of J. The one who is sitting just right of BC. M is not sitting to the right of B, just to the right as an immediate right. No, he is not. The one who is sitting 4th to the right of T. So this is T facing outwards. His 4th to the right is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. No, that's not where M is sitting, right? The one who is sitting between R and U. Yes, M is the guy who is sitting between R and U. So D. What is the position of P with respect to L? So let's check. What is the position of P with respect to L? With respect to L, as in go to the position of L. If you sit at the position of L, you will find that P is 3rd to the left of L, or you can say he is 6th to the right of L. 3rd to the left, 6th to the right with respect to L. So 3rd to the left, it's not there. 6th to the right, yes, we do have that. Find the odd one. R, L, J, M. R, L, J, M. It may be due to, the grouping may be because of the positions, or it may be because of the direction in which they are facing, right? Sare possible hai. So R, J, L and M, this is more like there is a gap of 2, there is a gap of 1, there is a gap of 2. That is the order. Or we can say in R, J, L and M, the first 3 are facing inwards, M is facing outwards. They are facing inwards and this guy is facing outwards. M, X, T and B. M, X, T and B. In M, X, T and B, we have 3 people facing outwards and 1 guy facing inwards. So let's try that one. So we have 3 people facing outwards, 1 person facing inwards. P, J, L and T. So we have P, J, L and T. We have 3 people facing inwards, the first 3, the last guy facing outwards. So we have P, J, L and T. U, T, X, M. U, T, X, M. Now U, T, X, M, all of these 4 people are facing outwards. They all are facing outwards. So most probably so far this one is the odd one out. We are not looking at the position. We are only looking at in which direction they are facing. Next is B, J, T and X. So we have B, J, T, B, J, T and X. Two people are facing inwards and two people are facing outwards. B, J, T and X. So two people facing inwards and two people facing outwards. So we have all the combinations here. Now we will have to, if I have to go with the options, I can go with D, because this is the only option wherein everybody is facing in the same direction, while the other four options, not everyone is facing in the same direction, right? If I'm not confident in this, I will go and search for the positions. Okay, it's little difficult to move it to and fro between the 3 slides ago and this slide. So R, L, J and M. R, L, J and M. So L and J are equidistant, R and M are equidistant, so they are more like they are symmetrical, right? They're more like they're symmetrical. What about MXTB? MX, T and B, they're also symmetrical. MX, T and B, I can draw a line like this, and we have MX and TB, they are symmetrical. Chalo. PJ, LT, PJ, L and T, they are also symmetrical along this particular line. PJ is to the immediate right of that line and TL to the immediate left. They are also symmetrical. UTXM, UTXM, they are not symmetrical whatsoever. T is very far. Had it been PX, to chalta. So they're not symmetrical. Please, last wala symmetrical ho jaye. BJTX, we have BJTX. Yes, they are symmetrical again along this line. So D, the four people, they do not have any axis of symmetry, so that we can divide it into two congruent semicircles. 15th, how many persons sits between L and R from left of L? So we'll go to L, we will check left of L and go up to R. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 people who are sitting between L and R from the left of L, because L is facing inwards. 4. Now if this is going to strike, if this is the doubt you are having, that what about the remaining 7 cases? I don't know. If one case was able to help me find out these answers, so great. Suppose if I am going to have 2 cases eventually, and out of these 2 cases, one case is giving me one of the options and the other case is giving me the other option. Won't happen, right? So our assumption that 2 cases will give me 2 different answers is wrong. So maybe I will get 2, 3, 4 more cases possible. All the assumptions that I made while drawing this circular table will eventually result in either the same pattern logically, or maybe the same sequence or the number of people sitting between them, or which one is the odd one out. They will always give you the same result. So in NMAT, don't waste your time if you think that you're going to have more than 2 cases. 2 cases at most chalega. 2 se zyada never found. Okay. Okay, the next set. 8 family members are sitting around a circular table, again circular table, and facing the center. Thankfully, we do not have facing and away. It is a 3-generation family and only 3 members are there. That means the remaining 5 are female. Their ages are different, and husband is elder to his wife. C is mother of E, this sits next second to the left, his sister-in-law sits next, and so on and so forth. Right. Now there are three things. First, they're sitting. Next, their names, as in sitting positions, left, right, immediate, right? Their names, and then their relationships. So in the worst possible scenario in such sets, we have to draw the sitting arrangement separately from their blood relations, right? The family tree. So how would I go about this? Since there are 8 family members sitting around a circular table, so I will be drawing a circular table and making 8 people sit around it. It's going to be very easy for 8 people to sit around it. Reason being, it's very easy to divide a circular into even number of parts. In the 9 it was little difficult, right? Okay. Everyone is facing inwards, so that should not be an issue. Now, either you will read the relations and draw the family tree, or you will only try to find out who is sitting where. If relationship is being related, then we don't know the relationship, as in we don't know the name corresponding to a relationship, so we can't do anything about those. I'll explain while we'll be doing this. C is mother of E, can't really do anything. E's husband sits second to the left of A. So I don't know who is E's husband. We are pretty sure that wherever A is, A's second to the left is where E's husband will go. So sometimes you improvise and you don't write exactly what they tell you. So I'm simply going to write Mr. E, so that I'll remember that this is E's husband, right? We also know that the gender over here is a male, है ना? Husband. Okay. G is sister-in-law of E, no idea. E's brother sits second to the right of F, no idea. F is neighbor of A, no idea. A has 1 daughter and 1 son. Acha, no, we have an idea. We do have an A, right? F is a neighbor of A, so we can have F over here or we can have F over here. Neighbor means aju baju, not 2 places away. And E's brother sits second to the right of F. If F is over here, so second to the right is where E's brother is going to sit. And if F is going to be here, second to the right of F, this is where E's brother is going to sit. So we have 2 cases so far. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to place F whatsoever. A has 1 daughter and 1 son. B's niece sits second to the right of B. B's niece. No idea. A's wife, since A's wife we are talking about, so this is male. A is the husband. Second to the right of A. So this is A, second to the right of A will be, this is where Mrs. A is going to sit. We are done with this. We are also done with this part. Okay. E has 2 daughters. D's mother is neighbor of D. B is elder to H. Elder. So the remaining statements, they are all about relations, right? So looks like we will have to figure out the blood relations first, so that Mr. and Mrs. A, all those letters can be arranged, right? So shouldn't erase that. We will erase it later. So we have 8 family members. C is mother of E. So C is female and she is mother of E. I hope you guys are aware of the standard way to denote the blood relations. So the rectangular will mean male, an ellipse will mean female gender, the horizontal line will mean siblings, horizontal and a cross will mean spouse, as in married couples, and the downward arrow will mean the generation. These 5 symbols will help us figure out any relationship. Not real life, questions वाले, ठीक है? Real life इतना आसान होता तो अच्छा होता. So C is mother of E. E's husband. So E's husband, that E is female, husband means married. This is not A, right? Because he is sitting to the left of it. This guy cannot be A. G is sister-in-law of E. Sister-in-law of E means husband's sister. Okay. E's brother. So E has a brother who is not F. A has one daughter and one son. We don't know where A is. A is definitely not this guy, right? B's niece sits second to the right of B. We don't know where B is. A's wife sits second to the right of A. We don't know where A is. A and B are not neighbors. E has two daughters. Okay, great. E has two daughters. So how many people so far? 7. And if we have these 7 people, that would mean that if C has a child, then C should be married. And they have 2 children, one daughter and a son. Daughter is married to a guy, that guy has a sister, and this couple, they have got 2 children. So there are actually there are 2 married couples, C and her husband. E and her husband is the second couple. We have 3 male members as it was expected. This is a 3-generation family as well. Okay, let's find out who is the husband of C. A has 1 daughter and 1 son. So this is definitely A, because this is the only guy who has got 1 daughter and 1 son, because this can't be A. D's mother is a neighbor of D. So the only person you can have is D's mother. So it could be D as this guy, or D can be one of the 2 girls over here. It is given that G is elder to H's wife. If H has a wife, obviously this is H, right? B is elder to H and H is elder to G. If B is elder to H, the only person who can be elder to H is this. And H is elder to G. So we are left with 2 people, right? We have A, B, C, D is left and F are left. Doesn't matter who is D and F, they will make no difference because they both are of the same gender. So let's check. C is the mother of E, yes. G is sister-in-law of E, yes. A has 1 daughter and 1 son, yes he does. B's niece, D or F, right? A's wife, A and B, okay, that has nothing to do with relation. E has 2 daughters, yes she does. D's mother, who is E? B is elder to H and H is elder to G. बड़े भाई की शादी नहीं हुई है मतलब. G is elder to H's wife. So H has a wife and G is elder to H's wife. So we know how these second generation guys are, right? किसकी age किससे ज़्यादा कम है. D is elder to F. So D is the elder daughter of E and H. Now we have the blood relations. Now it's going to be easier. For example, who is Mrs. A now? Mrs. A is nobody but C. Who is Mr. E now? He is nobody but H. Right? Now we will read the statements that has to do with the positions and not relationships anymore. हो गया relationship जितना करना था. Okay. E's husband H sits second to the left of A, he does. E's brother, that is B, sits second to the right of F. Don't know where F is. So we haven't done this. F is neighbor of A, so it could be at any of these 2 places. Suppose this is where F is. Then E's brother, that is B, sits second to the right of F. So this is where B would be. And if I take F over there, B is going to jump C and go to that place, right? So we have two possibilities, not getting into the trap. B's niece as in D or F, one of them, sits second to the right of B herself. No idea where to put. A's wife, that is C, sits second to the right of A. Yes. A and B are not neighbors. That means B is going to take any one of these three places now. If A and B are not neighbors and if B can't come over here, suppose B takes this. If B takes this, then B's niece, who is B's niece, D or F, sits second to the right of B. Second to the right as in this is where F is going to sit. Makes sense? Or D can sit over here. ठीक है? F या D में से कोई तो एक इधर आएगा. What if I take B over here? We don't have any position for F or D, so we can't place B over there. What if I put B over here? We can have a position for F or D over here. So B is going to take two scenarios, and accordingly F and D are going to take two scenarios. And we will have to start someplace. Let's look at the questions first. Okay, who among the following is eldest in the family? Doesn't require any of this, right? A is the eldest. How is A related to F? It means by which relation F is going to call A. So F is going to call A grandfather. Who among the following is third to the left of B's wife? B's wife? Do we have a B's wife? We can't have a B's wife, right? Can we? So it looks like this G, which was sister of H, is actually not going to be sister of H, but the wife of B. Then also E and G, they are going to be what? Sister-in-laws. So this sister-in-law, I assume that husband sister. It's not necessarily. It could be brother's wife also. It's a common English phrase which means either of those. So that question helped us figure out that B and G, they are actually couples. So we have a couple, we have got two children, they both are married, and then one of them has got two children. यानी कि शादी हो रखी है B की. So B's wife is whom? G. So question is who is sitting third to the left of G? We have not completed the table, the diagram. Who among the following is younger to E? Younger to E. It's D and F. Both are going to be younger to E, of course. Do we have D and F? F sister? Definitely. F sister is D, right? Who among the following does not belong to the group? So we will have to figure out the entire scenario. Okay, we will have to start someplace. So I'll start from here, that B's niece sits second to the right of B. So this is where B is sitting. Second to the right of B, we have the niece. Let's call it F. The moment I have F over here, if you guys remember, E's brother, that is B, sits second to the right of F. hold on. B's niece sits second to the right of B, and then it is given that E's brother, that is B, sits second to the right of F. Second to the right, this is only possible that if we have F over here, if we have B over here, and then we can have D over here, right? This is the only possibility we are going to have, because if I place F here, B comes here. So F and D, the two sisters, and B, their maternal uncle, they are sitting at a gap of 1 position in the anti-clockwise direction, right? So this is the only explanation that we can have here. So B is the male, D and F, they are female, C was female, I mean C is female. What else? E's husband sits second to the left of A. E's brother, that is B, sits second to the right of F. Yes, he does. And B's niece, which is D, sits second to the right of B, which she does. A's wife sits second to the right of A, does. A and B are not neighbors. Of course, they are not. D's mother as in E, is neighbor of D, so that means E will come here only, and we are left with only one person who is A, B, C, D, E, F, G is missing, so G comes here. So now we know the entire flow chart as well. So we have C, A, G, B, E, H. So I'm going to redraw the family tree. C is married to A. C and A, they have 2 children. Let's bring them closer. So they have 2 children. One is E, a girl who is married to H, and a boy who is B, who is married to, so boy is male, right? Who is married to G. E and H, they have 2 daughters, D and F, where D is elder than F. Who among the following is third to the left of B's wife? B's wife is G. Third to the left of G is going to be, first to the left is H, second is D, third is E. So it's going to be E. And who is E? E is A and C's daughter. Do we have A or C's daughter? Is E given as H's wife? No. G's sister-in-law is what we can have, right? This person E is G's sister-in-law. E is the answer. That person is G's sister-in-law. And the last question, who among the following does not belong to the group? B, C, D, E, F. Let's see. B, C, D, E, F. B, C, D, E, F. If you pay attention, out of these 5 people, B, C, D, E, and F, 4 of them are female, and the 5th B is a male person. So that's making him odd one out from the group. So B is going to not form in the same group as the 5 options because this person is a male person. So out of all the 4 questions, 4 sets that we have done, you will find that when it comes to circular arrangement, we are generally more comfortable. But when you have 8 and 9 people and the directions are not given, another attribute comes in. Apart from names, things turn wrong, or the things go in a wrong direction. It becomes very complicated, right? It was so easy when we had linear arrangement in 1 row, in 2 rows, facing north, facing south, facing east, facing west. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उनमें. So if you have to practice more, if you are weak, practice more on circular arrangements. Practicing more on linear arrangement, if you are already doing very well over there, is not going to do much help. Okay, and you need to start someplace. Okay, so if you guys remember, in the previous question, this place, I was very much confused. So I was like, I need to start someplace. So I started with, okay, chalo yaar, I'll take L over here, I'll take M over here. I started at some point. Same in the second set. I was not sure. I was like, fine, I will start with L over here and then I'll put N over here. Baki baad mein dekhenge na. I'll put H over here. If there is going to be a contradiction, well, good enough. Anyways, if I have to write down all the cases, there will be contradiction. How about if I start someplace? So people, they generally take a back seat and they're like, what to do now? I mean, taking a back seat for 15 seconds, trying to analyze, should you actually go ahead with it, mark an option, move ahead because this is NMAT. That's what you should take a back seat for. Not while like solving. Solve karna hai, so you should solve as if, you know, it's the matter of life and death for the question, for the marks, not about you. Well, that's all. Hope it helped you understand how faculty thinks. Some of you may be much quicker than I am because your brain works differently, and I'm discussing, right? Had I been doing it myself, then I'll be like, I'm not going to be hesitant. I won't be reading the statements so many times. So it takes more time when you discuss. Anyways, thanks for attending, people. Please do like, share and subscribe the video, and don't forget to tune in again tomorrow, again at the same time, 3 o'clock. We are going to continue this revision classes of Last Lab to NMAT 2022 until 3rd of October. Okay, so do press that bell icon. And also, people who are going to appear for NMAT exam and people who are also not going to appear for NMAT exam, be there on 12th of October for the first impression and detailed analysis. If you press that bell icon, you will be notified whenever the video is going to be live. A few hours before the video is about to go live, as in it's going to be a live discussion, right? So make sure that you have the subscription and notification button on. Don't forget to subscribe us on Instagram and Facebook as well. You can also join our Telegram group, which is BYJU'S MBA Doubts, where we have got thousands of students asking doubts and any queries that they have. You can also download our app. The details are given in the description, from where if you download the app, you can go through hundreds of videos for free, where we discuss questions, previous year papers, concepts, tricky questions, faster approaches, discussion about an exam, the analysis, the way the paper is going to be, and what all things are important in an exam. So we discuss all of that: CAT, SNAP, NMAT, IFT, ZAT, everything is there. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.